Now we're back, right? Are we back? Sufferings. If we're back, just say what we're back. Let me
Thumbs
see.
up.
Thumbs up for us. Okay, we're back.
Yo, so Poppa Left, kind of go into like you were going in, man. Kind of go into like, yo, we don't get RJ Barret without certain things happening.
So I see people saying like, oh, I had to watch this level of basketball, or I tolerate this team, knowing the concerns that fans bring about, but they say, you know what, when was the last time we've seen, wins at this level? When's the last time we had competitive basketball at this point in the calendar? And you poo-poo at the process of what it takes to develop a winner, and then you want to enjoy the spoils of it. It's a strange conundrum that the Knicks are in. On one hand, Leon Rose and Brock Aller, these guys have done the right thing in terms of getting the right amount of assets and not taking those assets and mortgaging them for one big move. They've done that pretty well. And I think that gives us a bit of hope or a bit of leverage to put our concern in. But when you talk about, hey, I watched Lou Amundsen, I watched Alexei Shved, I watched Jimmer Fredette, I watched Torrey Murray. Like these are look. I get it, but bro, I watched Othello Harrington and Clarence Weatherspoon.
Right.
Like I got 15 years on your supposed pain. And when I had Othello Harrington and Clarence Weatherspoon, it was nothing on the other end of it. It was Isaiah Thomas and Steve Francis and Stephon Marbury and Jamal Crawford and Eddie Curry and Zach Randolph. Like, this team has the potential to really make something of themselves. They really do. They're not one move away, but they have an ability to remain sustainable, and they have an ability to rebuild at the same time. Like, no one's saying like we're rooting for losses, but no. I want to clarify this. The idea that the Knicks are contingent on Thibs and a select number of individuals like Julius on this team to be 5 games over 500 with the schedule they're presented, I think that's a fallacy. I think that they could be at the exact same spot that they are, maybe a little bit less, if they played Emmanuel Quickley, Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, Jericho Sims, Cam Reddish. I think they would be just as good. I really do. And my case in point comes to the end of last year, right? The end of last year, we saw this team beat Miami on the road, okay, with no Julius Randle. We saw them beat the Pistons the following game with Julius Randle, okay? We saw them beat Washington. We saw them beat Orlando, and it's not, this isn't something that I'm basing off of no knowledge, right? So also with this team, I just asked them to beat a quality opponent to finish the game. Does that make me miserable? Like, what we have to start analyzing what constitutes a narrative. Is a narrative something that somebody's pushing to get people to see it their way? Or is a narrative something that you are so offended by your own cognitive dissonance, and in order to delegitimize that take, right, you choose to label it as negative, narrative, miserable agenda? Because that's what I realized yesterday. I realized that you're only calling it negative so you can pinpoint a convenient moment where you can use that take, usurp that take, own it for yourself, i.e. when the Knicks blow a big lead against an opponent, you get to say fire Thibs, right? You get to say fire the coach. You get to say, Julius, you're a bum, right? You get to say things like that when it's convenient. But when people are watching, the Knicks played the Raptors last night. They blew a 10-point lead. I wasn't surprised. The Knicks were up 105-89 against the Raptors on my birthday, and it was 106-104 in a span of 2.5 minutes. So this team is a consistent team. You guys look at the wins and you look at the losses, and you forget who we're playing. You forget who the coach is. You forget that the team is playing their top 3 guns 40 apiece on back-to-back matinees. And you look at when the dust settles, and you haven't answered my question. Where is the quality win? Why should I be overly excited? Why should I take the top 10 record in the NBA and try to equivocate that to anything meaningful? Because I look at the other top 10 teams in the league, right? And I can even look at teams that are below us in the record. And I'll tell you what, the Knicks are plus 16,000 to win the NBA Finals. They're neck and neck with the Chicago Bulls. They're behind the Hawks. They're behind the Raptors. Okay? You say, oh, we're better than the Clippers. They're way behind the Clippers. Okay? No one believes in this team.
They know better than Vegas. They know better than Vegas, apparently. But whatever.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Listen, man, you're speaking facts, dude. You know, I think that the whole thing about narrative is that narrative implies that you have something like narrative is when it's not based in reality. You're trying to create your own reality, right? Basically is what when you say you have a narrative, you're trying to create your own reality. This is not me creating my own reality or anything like that. The Knicks have beat no one this year. They beat the Cleveland Cavs, was their best win, right? When they had Spider. Mm-hmm. That was it. That was the only game.
And Bickerstaff said after the game, you said got all these Washington guys kissing our ass, right? You know what Bickerstaff said after the game? Yeah, we missed some shots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and they probably did. I don't remember that game, but I'm saying they haven't beaten anybody. And just because you point that out doesn't mean you're miserable or anything like that. Doesn't mean you have a narrative. It's just like, yes, Quentin Grimes is a good basketball player. Mm-hmm. I like the way Quickly's playing, but they can't close games. They haven't beaten anybody. Why does that make me? Why does that make us the bad guy when we're just pointing out both sides? It's ridiculous, dude. A lot of people just they don't know how to read, or they think they take your words and they think you're trying to say something else because you're not communicating with them one-on-one. There's a lot of the problems with it. The short format of Twitter and just reading something, like things get lost in translation via text and via all the.
But some of y'all literally work for MSG, and we don't do that to you. Like, some of y'all literally work for MSG, and we don't do that to you. The only person that gets company, man, is Anthony MSG. I'm not even going to give you that credit. Some of y'all literally work for MSG trying to talk to me about basketball.
I like it.
Come on. That would be bro, that would be like me clocking into work and talking shit about charter schools on my Instagram. The fuck? Like, y'all never going to do that. So don't act like any level of product would not fit in within the realm of optimism and hope. You can only sell hope.
Happy to be here, man. Happy to be here, fans. Is the problem with this organization, man. The playing tournament is a problem with this organization, man. You got fans literally complaining about RJ getting hit on a game time dunk. I'm like, bro, they did so many things before that happened to lose the game that you can't even count them, bro.
Yeah, it shouldn't even have been a one-point game.
Yeah, you got a point guard that got 2 assists. I've been saying since the season started. He's a hog. He's a ball hog. He's a great James player, but he's a little for himself. You know what I'm saying? You have 29 shots and only can find guys twice. Granted, guys miss shots, but you're not really looking for your teammates in that case, right? A lot of this Knick offense is literally Randle Brunson going back and forth, playing hot potato with the basketball. RJ's figuring out where he needs to be in between.
I want to point this out. This dude, Big Nick, right? Very creative name, right? This rhetoric once again, they call it rhetoric. They call it negative. What meaningful win have we had against a top team? Stop calling it rhetoric. Answer the question. If you want to give me Pacers, are we not better than the Pacers?
Dude, Pacers?
What? I'm just saying, I'm willing to give you that. I'm willing to give you that. I'm willing to give you Pacers. I'm willing to give you Raptors, right? I'm willing to give you that. I'm willing to give you Cavs, okay? But it's like we're just. If you don't like the standard and you want to say I'll take 25 and 20 any way I can get it, it's a little childish, but I'll accept it, right? I'll accept it. Like, I don't agree with everybody religiously. But if that's what makes you feel good at night and you're 25 and 20 and you get to go to sleep at 25 and 20, and want to make believe like the concerns aren't real. And then I want to read this other comment, right? This comment said about the Toxic Boys stock, right? So he said, so it's the same comment. It sounds good when the team sucks. It's good vibes in Nick land. You know, the last time it was good vibes, you know where that comes from? You know where Big Nick is stealing that from? Julius Randle watching the Kyrie Irving situation before they played the Brooklyn Nets. And Julius Randle said, it's all good in Nick land. Do you know what happened against the Brooklyn Nets that night? The Knicks went down 19-6 within the first 3 minutes of the game and got completely blown out in a night where Julius Randle was mic'd up and said, I'm going to be with you all night, KD. Okay, let me just poke a hole in that. Now, as far as the rhetoric only sounds good when the team sucks, that's on you. That's on you if it only sounds good when the team sucks. This is just a self-admission that you're emotionally reacting to wins and losses. Our takes have not shifted whatsoever since the beginning of the season. Everybody says adjust your takes, adjust your takes. How about update your takes? How about have some fucking foresight? How about that? How about understanding trends of a 65-year-old head coach? Right? How about going into Twitter and searching? I'll do it right now. If you go into Twitter and you search Thibs garbage time and you go all the way down, right? You just search Thibs garbage time and you go all the way down. Here, February 8th, Frank Ntilikina fan, playing RJ and Grib garbage time, especially after him playing so many minutes in recent games, is inexcusable. Hope the injury isn't serious. Please just fire Thibs. Okay?
What day was that? What year was that?
This is February 8th. Here's March 2nd, 2002. Infuriating that Thibs doesn't think McBride is worth more than garbage time. Get this man out of here. That's y'all. That's the fan. That's y'all. That's y'all celebrating this shit. And not realizing nothing has changed. The guy had a 7-man rotation on a back-to-back of 2 matinees, playing 40 minutes a night. You're getting lucky. Jay, don't get me fired up because you work for Madison Square Garden.
All right. Listen. All right, relax.
Listen, man.
Jay, what's going on, Jay? While we get Jay back,
I'm back.
You're back?
I'm back.
All right. What do you got to say?
I'm not responding to that shit.
Yo,
shout out to Tuco Salamanca from
this team, man. This team, bro, got a long way to go, man. We can't be happy to be here, man. We haven't even started the rough part of our schedule yet, man. This is not even a conversation until we get to the end of March and we realize exactly how they play against real NBA franchises. We've been playing the bottom of the Barret Elite. 60% of the league is probably tanking for a good draft, right?
Damn. This is a rough one right now.
Yeah, bro. We can't get into that. Y'all hear me? My bad.
Was someone calling you? What's going on?
Yeah, somebody's calling my iPad. I forgot to.
Bro, you got to put the do not disturb on, dude. All right. So what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, 60% of the league, man, is tanking, bro. We in a situation where we haven't played anybody. We haven't even played anybody to really get hype on this. Like, they tell me, oh, you play who's in front of you, play who's on your schedule. Nah, bro. You have to. There's no data to say that we're a good NBA team. We played the Raptors, 3 times in the last couple of weeks, and the Raptors have washed us most of the time.
Motherfucker's talking about go ask the Pistons fans. Go ask the Celtics fans if they give a fuck about the Knicks.
Right.
Stop looking down. Stop looking down in life and elevating yourself.
Right.
Stop saying other people ain't shit, so therefore I am. Scotty Barnes looked at Quentin Grimes last night and said, "You ain't him.
You's not him."
And that's not all on Grimes. Grimes is not him because he's a fucking 4th option.
Right.
Scotty Barnes is hitting threes at the end of the game. Scotty Barnes getting dunked on at the end of the game. Scotty Barnes is doing this at the line at the end of the game. In the Garden. Stop looking at the Pistons with fucking Jalen Duren can't find his little passport to go to Paris. Okay? Jalen Duren can't find his passport. You think they give a fuck?
He's 17 years old, man. Listen, bro. Yo, Knicks fans are so thirsty for this marginal success, bro.
Just y'all bringing up bullshit. That's it.
Blinding them, bro. There's an article out that's saying Deuce McBride is untouchable today. The Knicks don't want to. I mean, bro,
talk about that.
Deuce McBride, brother. Like, who's the G? This is telling me that Thibs is invested as the leader of this team. He is the basketball guy. Like Poppa Left says all the time, he is the elite basketball mind in the organization to be calling people untouchable. In the Spider trade, you call Grimes untouchable. Mark Stein said today that Deuce McBride is untouchable. Like, you can't just deem your guys that you're invested in as untouchable. Like, we want to make the team better. We want to be a perennial winner. We want to get to Eastern Conference Finals. We want to get an A guy. Like, you can't just stick with an era of Julius Randle, Jalen, Brunson, and RJ Barret and just be happy with it. Like, just drop our hands and say, oh, let's just write it out and see. This is the first step. Everybody was telling me this is the first step. So what's the second, third, and fourth step? How do we get more impactful guys, right? How do we get guys to come to want to play for the Knicks, right? We don't want to invest in the draft. We punting on draft picks, right? We're in a situation where we're winning all these games. We can't get deep into the 23rd draft. So how do we get guys that get us to the point we want to be at? You know what I'm saying? How do we get to be a perennial winner? How do we get tough guys? How do we get guys not coming to the Garden, pointing our players' face and them not retaliate at all? You might go Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is calling Giannis Mr. Giannis. Julius Randle saying, oh, it's me and you tonight, KD. Like, these guys are fans of the big boys of the NBA. Y'all fans of them. Do y'all want to compete with them or y'all want to be fans? You come out and you smack the living daylights out of the Detroit Pistons, but you can't figure out how to beat.
I think 8 in a row. I think we have 8 in a row against the Pistons.
Yeah, you destroyed.
We won 4 in the 37 fire Thibs and 45 losses. We won 4 games against the Pistons then too.
Bruh, it's a joke, bro. You can't figure out how to beat the big boys in the NBA, but you want to. I guess we'll beat up on the team we're supposed to beat. Nah, bro.
I'm cool with that. I've always been cool with that. You go 500 against the teams that are in competition, and you beat up on the small team. That's how you make the playoffs. Absolutely, I'm down for that. But you got. But no, if they don't play 500 against the teams that are in their competition, they will not make the playoffs. They will make the play-in. They will not be the playoffs.
They still a playing team, bro. And if they play a playing game at Madison Square Garden, everything.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
they'll get watched.
I told you what my standard is, bro. And if people disagree with it, they disagree with it. You can't elevate. You can't tell me, right? Here's the funny thing. Like, you can't have shit both ways, right? You can't say we have Jalen, Brunson and we have Julius Randle and they're 2 bona fide all-stars, right? You can't tell me that and then say, oh, we're a developing team and let's just take it one day at a time. And why are you putting expectations on this team like it's okay? We were never good. No, you have 2 all-stars. They're at home against a team with a worse record, and you couldn't close them out.
The Knicks have,
but we're visible.
The Knicks have the second hardest second hardest schedule in the rest of the NBA right now. Okay. And you know, obviously you play the teams that are on your schedule, and you can't account for injuries. But what people get wrong is like, the Knicks aren't as good because of their record, because they're playing teams that are injured. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you want the measuring stick. You want to see how good the team actually is.
Exactly.
Can we compete?
Oh, and just to answer that question, what would the Toxic Boys do if Leon Rose's plan works out? First of all, I'm not convinced that Leon Rose's plan is our plan at all. Like, I don't think he cares about a championship. But in a theoretical world where the Knicks win the championship, we will pivot to the Knicks content channels where they are right now.
Yeah.
Drops Mike. Suck my dick.
So, second hardest schedule. We haven't really faced any real competition because of the injuries, which granted happened to a lot of teams in the league, but that's not the point. The point is to see whether or not the team could actually compete or not before the trade deadline, so they know what kind of moves they need to make.
Exactly.
Without playing these good teams, you don't know how close or how far you actually are from being a competitor, so you don't know what the fuck to do at the deadline. There's nothing to do with wins or losses. That's what a bunch of idiots think. Because they don't think through things. They just read something, they react instead of thinking. But yeah, I think this team is what we thought they were, man. They're just they're going to be a first round exit. And And that's all right. Listen, so they improved from last year. They didn't make the playoffs, and their first round exit. That's great, but how do you get the team better? No one's been able to give me that answer. The only thing that they say is that we're gonna trade the picks. We'll wait for that next guy. Whether it wasn't Donovan Mitchell, but Booker or Karl Anthony Towns or whoever, and they're gonna mortgage the future and trade the picks for one of those guys. And it's not enough because, like Papa said, we're not one move away. We're at least 2 moves away. So at least 2. So, listen, listen, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. All I can hope for is that at the deadline, the Knicks don't trade the picks. Don't trade any future for any win now move. I know they're talking about getting bench scoring.
Right.
They're all faceless.
I don't see
Charles Barkley, everybody poo-poos Charles Barkley shit all the time. Oh, don't listen to what TNT said. Bro, these guys are Hall of Famers, bro. They've experienced more basketball. They've seen high leverage moments. This guy went head to head with Michael Jordan in the finals and almost fucking beat him. Like, we ain't poo-pooing Charles Barkley, bro. Like I know he's a clown on TV. I understand it, bro. But this dude knows basketball, and he gave the Knicks props when the Knicks were good. And this year he's saying that they're a regular team, bro. They still two guys.
And Knicks fans are so it's so sensitive to the truth, bro.
They so sensitive to the
truth. Kenny Smith said this is the dialogue. This is the It's not rhetoric. It's not negative. It's not miserable. It's not agenda. This is the dialogue. Hey, the Knicks are one piece away from being elite.
Right.
To which Charles Barkley or Shaq responded, who's the one piece? Giannis, LeBron, Luka? Right?
It's a joke.
You can't call yourself elite just because you made a little trade.
That is actually that take is he's right. Like there's 4 players in the league.
The truth. Stop getting mad. It's just the truth.
Luka, Giannis, Embiid, and Kevin Durant, maybe.
Joker.
And that's it. Yeah, I said Joker. I said Joker.
Yeah. That's the one move away from being elite.
That's the one. But besides that, if you're not going to get that guy, like if you took Donovan Mitchell, you just dropped him on the Knicks at the expense of Quentin Grimes. You did that trade that was going to go down this summer. The Knicks would be the Cleveland Cavaliers, a 2nd round exit. Like, and that's supposed to and that means that we're going to be a championship team. It's not bro. Unless it's one of those 4 guys, you're multiple picks away, multiple trades, multiple players away from competing, dude. There's no world where. Hey,
in the chat, let us know who you think Big Nick is capping for. Who is he? Who is his? Who is that?
I would love to know what Leon Rose, bro, hasn't disclosed anything to us, bro. I would love to have an idea of what Leon Rose thinks about this roster.
Big Nick, who's Big Nick's burner?
How he sees fit moving forward. Like, I would love to see this, bro, because it's like, come on, man. Like, how we gonna get to the promised land? How are we gonna get to a point where we can actually compete for real? We're going night to night. We're figuring out what we're doing. Night to night, every game's a different situation. We can't compete with certain guys. We can beat up on the boo-boo guys. Like, come on, how do we level this thing out to where we're really competing and closing games against guys? You're literally watching guys' legs turn to jello in the 38th minute of the game, bro. Brunson can't continue to play these much minutes, bro. Randle can't play this much minutes. RJ can't play these many minutes. It's not sustainable. Like, Thibodeau got to understand, like, you can't play 6 guys. Like, this ain't the playoffs yet, brother. Like, you still got months to get into the playoffs. Like, you have to rest. It's called load management. The greatest modern coach in the NBA created it for a reason, Greg Popovich, because he saw his guys breaking down. He was like, nah. This don't count. We got to figure out a way to get guys rest during the season so they can have something in their legs going towards the playoffs. Draymond Green just said it the other day. He said there's a date in April that the Warriors select, that they ramp it up and start to get ready for the playoffs. No matter what seed we are, we know that day in April, we're going to ramp it up and get ready to compete. The Knicks are playing like it's a playoff series right now in January. And then Knicks fans get mad at me because I'm like, yo, this ain't sustainable. Like, no NBA
That's the thing.
Like this, brother. And then you got Fournier, Rose, Cam Reddish, all on the bench, all hating. I don't care what CK2K was absolutely correct. Fournier was not happy with that dunk. He was sitting there like a mummy. He wasn't happy. He was hating. Right? Cam Reddish was happy. D Rose is sitting there clapping like this. These guys want to play. These guys in their 30s, they want to sit there on the bench like scrubs. They've proven so much. You have all $37 million in cap sitting on the bench while you playing 5.5 guys every night. 5.5 guys, bro. 6 guys every night. And Deuce McBride don't count. He's playing Quick and Obi.
So what is like? Listen, the we're in the situation we're in right now. We're not gonna go deep in the playoffs. We're not gonna get a lottery pick. Let's live. So right now, given the situation we have, what is the moves? I'll tell you what my move is. I mean, listen, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you know who I would trade. I would do that trade, but assuming they're not going to trade him, what's the move, man? I feel like we should be sellers, not buyers. I think we should. I feel like you need as many draft picks as possible because you want to make 2 big trades, not 1. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
You want to make 2 big trades, not 1, because 1 is not enough. Unless you get a Jokic, then all right, it's enough. But if you're not going to get that guy, I think you need enough for 2 trades.
Well, they pulled back Quick off the market. Mark Stein said so. Quick's no longer on the market. So let's say Quick could get you another first-round pick. They don't want to trade him, so they've locked in on Quick. I mean, this playoff situation really got them like wet. Like they really got it. Like they own it, right? You say you don't want to trade Deuce McBride. Obi maybe. Can Obi get you a first round pick? Nah, I don't think Obi can get you any help per se. So, like, where you gonna get Will Barton and Kyle Kuzma? You know, people always say, "Oh, we need to add to the bench. We need to add to the work." Where are shots gonna come from? Where do you find Kyle Kuzma 20 more shots when Brunson want to shoot 35 times a night, and Randle got to shoot 30 times a night, and Barret got to shoot 20 times a night? Where do these shots come from?
That's the problem with the fit, man. That's the problem with the fit. Our 3 best players are high usage,
and they just ISO. It's just ISO ball.
Yeah,
so
man,
like you telling me we got to go get more help, but outside of a lunch pail guy that spots up in the corner like Grimes, because Grimes should be getting more than 5 shots a night. Where do you go get shots for? You think Jordan Clarkson, a veteran, is going to say, "Oh, I'll come to the Knicks and play garbage time minutes and shoot 7 times a game or 6 times a game"? Nah. For what?
Yeah, Kuzma's going to come here. He's going to come off the bench and take 6 shots a game. I'm sure.
It'll never happen. So you can't, bro. The ideology behind Tom Thibodeau's strategy, the way he lays his players out, the type of offense that the dribble handoff bullshit, and you expect to add to this roster. Where are you adding shots at?
They're not.
Because it takes 17 seconds to get into a shot on a regular possession. You ain't swinging the ball around. Randle's hezzy and head faking and up and down and through the legs, and Brunson is backing people down for 10 seconds. Where do you find shots for Kyle Kuzma?
You don't. It's not. That's why it's not a good move. That's why they have to trade either. At some point, they're going to have to trade either RJ or Randle. That's it. They're not going to be able to keep both of them together. They need a new coach, man. They need a tactician, bro. You can have NBA teams don't just sell off talent just because they can't find shots. Like the Warriors is not selling off Jordan Poole. They finding shots for Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Wiggins. Everybody eats on that team. Everybody can't eat on the Knicks. And why? Because Tom Thibodeau was the coach. Like teams have talent, everybody eats on the squad. Like this happens. Tom Thibodeau is definitely the biggest issue right now facing the team, but also like everyone's like, who's the blame? It's not a black and white world. It's not like it's Thibs' fault. It's Thibs' fault. It's Rose's fault for thinking it's a good idea to put 82% of the salary cap in 3 middle of the pack players. It's Randle's fault because he forgets how to play basketball during the last 5 minutes of every single game. Mm-hmm. You saw those clutch statistics that came out today? Read this. Look at these clutch statistics that came out. So Julius Randle, and this is some data for you guys. So clutch time statistics, those include the last 5 minutes of a game when the score of the game is within 5 points. Julius Randle clutch time statistics: 27% field goal percentage, 12% 3-point percentage, and 68% free throw percentage.
Narrative, agenda.
Boy got the yips in the fourth quarter, man.
Dude,
that boy got the yips in the fourth quarter.
Dude, he is terrible in the clutch, bro.
Yeah.
But Brunson is good. And listen, this is where I keep it a buck, man. I'm not just miserable. Like Julius Randle, for the 4 years he's been in the Knicks, has never came through in the clutch once.
Right.
Besides during a preseason game where he hit a fucking prayer shot against Washington to win a preseason game. Besides that, in the playoffs, anytime he's never came through in the clutch. Not even once. He's that bad, all right? Jalen Brunson, on the other hand, his clutch statistics are like elite.
How do you stop Brunson, though? You always talk about how you stop Brunson.
Listen, the way you stop Brunson is to put length on him. But if you look at his clutch time statistics, 52% field goal percentage, 50% from three, 82% from the free throw. But the problem with Brunson is that he's 6'1", and once you put some guy 6'8" on him who can move their feet, all his craftiness and his basketball genius goes out the window because there's a guy's got a 7-foot wingspan. So that means someone else down the stretch of these games has to help Jalen Brunson close.
Yo, it's gonna come crashing down, bro. You talking about giving an NBA coach a week's worth of preparation and tape to watch against Brunson. This means they're watching spots, they're watching catch spots, they're watching pinch post opportunities, they're watching off-ball movement, they're watching dribble handoffs, they're watching every little nuance that the Knicks have offensively for a week straight. Preparation is key, bro. Like sometimes I go back. Our offense is so trash, bro, that sometimes I even go back and I watch Bulls games. I said, all right, let me see if Thibs always been this trash, right? So I watched Rose Bull game. Rose is just bailing him out. D Rose in his prime was just completely just bailing this guy out. He was unbelievable. But when Rose got hurt, you saw a lot of Joakim Noah playing point guard, right? Initiating the offense. And I'm like, yo, this has nothing to do with Thibs. I'm watching what Noah's doing. I'm like, Noah's just pretty much freestyling, initiating offense on his own, and guys are cutting off ball and getting easy opportunities.
Yeah.
Like, Pitt's whole career, he's never been able to implement any type of offense like this. Minnesota, Chicago, he's dependent on his players every time. Now we're in New York City where Randle and RJ have.
He was calling plays at the beginning of the game yesterday.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
very remedial.
You know what?
It is remedial. It's 1,000% remedial. It's very much like give the ball to this guy.
Yeah. Clear out bullshit.
Dude, you know what they really have to like. If the Knicks really want to have the best chance of winning this year, Julius Randle needs to stop shooting and play more of that Draymond Green role. He needs to be at the top of the key, and he needs to focus on getting, because he could do it. He could pass. He could shoot a little bit. He is more.
Does he lead the team in assists?
No, he doesn't. No, I'm saying Draymond, like he's more talented of a basketball player than Draymond Green.
Absolutely.
Right? He doesn't have the brain that he does, right? But if he just takes that step back and lets RJ get the shots, right, and just tries to make the right pass, and then if they're giving him the shot, shoot it, whatever. Be more of that glue guy.
Won't happen.
Yeah, I know it won't happen because there's Knicks fans who think Julius Randle is like Jay Nicky. I hate to blow him up again, but said that he was a generational rebounder today in a space.
Jay Nicky's a new Knicks fan, man. Shout out to him, bro. A lot of these content creators that I watch, man, are pretty much Carmelo Knicks fans.
Jay Nicky. Jay Nicky's my guy.
They're just new Knicks fans, bro. They haven't really seen much. It was like they're comparing garbage to what's happening now. So this is why they fight us tooth and nail, because what they've seen for the last 10, 12 years has been trash. So they tell us to compare. Oh, I had to live through Lou Almondson, or I had to watch this player play, and I had to watch. But you don't get like my man was saying, like Poppa Left was saying, you don't get RJ Barret without watching that season. So the player that you idolize and love so much that tied the game last night, if you don't lose some games, you don't get that kind of level talent. Now we got another draft coming up. They got some serious talent, and we want to pretend to be contenders, right?
Man, Larry.
And then now we're gonna get leapfrogged again, because Detroit's gonna pick a A1 guy, Charlotte's gonna pick an A1 guy, Orlando's gonna get a guard, and they're gonna leapfrog us again and run circles around us for the next 10 years because we want to fake contend. Not smart.
That's funny. The shit was piling on Poppa Left until he said something about yeshiva, and then Larry had to step in for the Jewish tribe and be like, hold up. He didn't play at yeshiva. Look, man, y'all make all those Jewish jokes, but when Jay makes it, it's not cool. It's whatever. Look, man, I did see I saw Stephen Fox on the show.
Fox is my guy. I love Fox.
Oh, yeah, I love their take. I wish they understood. Look, Jay from Florida and Ari from Manhattan at my wedding is going to be a hilarious photo. CP the franchise will be there. I'm gonna throw CK2K an invite just for the fact that he got torn apart on Nick's Twitter last night.
He's the nicest guy ever.
He's the nicest guy of all time. He's such a good guy.
He's a great guy.
And you threw him on the altar for DNP, Evan Fournier.
You know, if Fournier wasn't guilty of it, he wouldn't even responded. But he felt guilty about it. I say
we got a question from Forever Profits here. Why none of the reporters ask challenging questions to Thibs when we lose? Why does retired Berman know more than Ian Begley, Popper, and Cat? So my quick answer would be that MSG and their little minions, a couple of them are in the chat right now, which get paychecks from MSG. The little minions, okay, are under strict guidelines to be team friendly to the team. There's a report that came out. I saw it on the Rich Eisen show that MSG is employing facial recognition software in Madison.
I saw that.
Yeah, and this is from a reputable source, all right? It's like you can't go against Big Brother. If you ever read the book 1984, it's a classic. Read that book. You can't go against Big Brother, man. So, you know, they're trying to control the narrative. That's the whole point of what Toxic Boys are here. We're trying to hold everyone accountable and speak our truth to everything.
Yo, why does Dolan get into these things where, like, yo, your reputation is already terrible. You already can't get guys to come play with you. I understand that when you get guys to come play with you, it's different because they're in your building. They see you every day. They talk to you all the time. But like you talk about rebuilding culture and perception, and then you put facial recognition cameras in the building. So if I get kicked out of the MSG game, they scan my face. As soon as I step in again, I can't come in. I can't support my team. Like this is what we're doing.
Yo, so Kenny, shout out to you. I'm actually going to be sitting second row tomorrow in the Garden. I'm going to the game tomorrow. I'll be on the floor, so we'll know if they have my facial recognition software because they'll see if they say anything to me. But
where are you going to be? What part of the court?
I'm supposed to be behind the Knicks bench. Two.
You gotta say some shit to Cam.
Yeah,
you gotta say some shit to Cam.
I'm gonna take video. I'm gonna take videos. I wish I gotta figure out. I gotta wear like.
Ask Cam if he says "suck my dick" to Thibs. I want to know.
We'll see what happens, but whatchamacallit? Yeah. So question for the panel. Question for the panel.
That's funny, bro.
Like, what do you if you had to guess, you think that like where do you think that like do you think the Knicks are going to end up locked into the 6th seed, or do you think they're going to be in the play-in? Like, think of it. We're the second. Like, what do you think is going to really happen?
Playing.
Let me look at
this schedule. This schedule is going to get serious for yo. They're going to have to if you're playing 6 guys, bro. Playing against the teams they're about to play with benches, like the Celtics got a bench. Robert Williams is back for the Celtics. That means they can vertically space the floor. They can beat up on you with their first unit, and then they have what's his name, the point guard. I always forget his name, man. The boring point guard like Brunson on a second unit to come in. Brogdon, yeah. So you playing teams like that. You playing Philly. You playing the Nets. You playing the LA teams. You playing a lot of West Coast teams, Nuggets. I mean, you're gonna have to get some rest for some guys. Like they're gonna have to find some help, bro. Like
I think I
don't care how young guys are.
I think they're gonna end the 8th seed. I think Miami's gonna jump them for sure.
Miami woke up.
For sure. And another team probably will jump them behind because we have the second hardest schedule moving forward. But that's the whole thing, man. It's like, how the hell are you guys gonna be like? How are you guys gonna be like? We're so God, like you're so toxic and all this stuff because we have concerns about being an 8 seed. Like, do you understand that? Like, they're there are organizations.
We're supposed to be happy we're here.
If they were the 4th seed, they would be getting.
Can we think of a team that was an 8th seed that broke in as a developing team as an 8th seed and then became like a perennial championship contender?
The We Believe Warriors, but there was a completely different team. But the We Believe Warriors with Matt Barnes.
God, the NBA is so warped with the playing tournament, bro. It's so fake.
Yeah, no, I got
you.
So
fake.
I would say, just to answer your question, I would say that the Knicks are like just looking at the standings right now, in terms of upper echelon, obviously the Nets went on a crazy winning streak, bro.
Yeah, but they're gonna lose games now that KD.
Yeah, I think the Celtics, Nets, and Bucks are there. And honestly, bro, I was watching the Sixers the other night, and they are a turnstile on defense. Like they don't play defense well enough. But between Harden and Embiid, at end of these games, like the action that they have is just hard to defend, man. It's just really hard to defend.
Are they running pick and roll again now?
They're pretty much running Harden has the ball on the top of the key, and he's able to like pretty much play a 2-man with Embiid, or Embiid is sitting down in the post for a lob, or they're getting the ball to Embiid on a flash to the free throw line. So he's pretty much getting the ball, and the whole defense is squeezing towards. It's just you can't guard it, bro. Like they're too good. The best chance you have is that Embiid takes a fall away. Like the shot he had against the Lakers the other night was a fall away jumper, and he missed.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can do. But I think like the Sixers are really good. I think the Cavs have a lot to prove in terms of how they play against top competition, but you know what I mean? They've racked up a couple wins. I think the Heat are better than the Knicks. And I think that the Knicks are probably the best team right now out of the Pacers, Hawks, and Bulls. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Hawks.
Let me ask you this.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Hawks got a better record than the Knicks.
So
I would be shocked if the Knicks had a better record than the Heat. I'll say that.
What if the Hawks, because they've been rumored to be shopping Collins? What if the Hawks could get on the phone with Utah and say, "Yo, we'll give you whatever we have left pick wise, Collins, and give us Jordan Clarkson." And Jordan Clarkson then comes in and plays the hurdle role because they're missing that secondary shot creation from the guard position and gets them shots off the bench.
Bro, I'm just saying, bro, like Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, bro, like they'll figure that shit out. I'm sorry.
They
will figure that out.
A guard.
They'll figure that out.
Atlanta's fucked. They're screwed. They're like Chicago. They have nothing left.
No, I don't think so, bro. I think they get. I think if they put back Herter, if they get somebody to replace Herter, if they get somebody to replace Herter.
Nah, Atlanta's not Atlanta, bro. Atlanta pushed Miami to 6 games last year.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like
Atlanta's made a couple this year.
They're too dysfunctional. Like everyone hates each other on that team. Like Trae Young probably doesn't even want to be there. I just feel like there's a lot of dysfunction.
Nah, I think Herter leaving them hurt them, bro. And I feel like if they can swap another player in like him, bro, I think they'll be fine. Honestly. Because then you have more minutes for that backup big that from USC too, because he can play in the place of Collins. What's his name? So I think the Hawks might be a trade away. Yo, a lot can happen.
I think right now we're better than the Hawks based off the size and strength and the way we play. It just has a better equity across the competition in terms of wins and losses. But I think the Hawks haven't hit their stride at all, and we've definitely hit ours. And we haven't really played well against tough competition. We have a stretch against tough competition. So, like, for instance, if the Knicks played well against this competition and they went 500 against that competition, I would be shaking my ass. I would be shaking my ass for that shit. If they survive that stretch and they're up 5 games over and they're in the 6th seed, absolutely.
Yeah, you got
all I'm saying, all this negative piece of shit is saying in the fucking trash can on Sesame Street, all I'm saying is just prove it. Okay, that's it. I'm not saying they're assholes. I'm not saying fuck this player, fuck that player. I'm not saying this player's playing well, but I just don't like him. Like, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying just beat the fucking Cavs, beat the fucking Heat, beat the Raptors.
Here's the thing.
Beat the Nets. Just go 500.
Just to be devil's advocate, you're 100% right, but what these people are going to say is like, we know we can't beat them. That's not the point. The point is you got to start somewhere. You're a nothing team, and now you have to go to make the playoffs to develop. This is not me. This is what they say. Going to develop these winning habits. These guys are all so young. They're gonna get a year older. They're gonna get more experience. They're gonna get a little bit better, and you're gonna build it one brick at a time, and then eventually you're going to trade the picks.
Delusional.
For that guy, and then you're going to be fine. To which I think that's guaranteeing never winning a championship and just mortgaging your future for the next 10 years, honestly, at that point. But that's what their argument is. It's like, we're not trying to beat Milwaukee. We're trying to make the playoffs. And then next year, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna add a piece here. We're gonna beat the first round. And that what they don't understand is that's not the way it works. You need, if you're trying to win some of this league, you need a top 7 player in the league, dude. A top 5 player. Philly has that, right? Denver has that. Fucking, Milwaukee has that. That's why I was of the mindset of tanking before. But now that's too late. Brunson's on the team. They're never going to tank with Brunson on this team. It's impossible. He's too good. So now the only way to do it is by trade. We don't have enough assets to trade for multiple players. We only have assets to trade for one player, and we're more than one player away. We're two players away, right? So I'm trying to acquire assets at the deadline. Like that.
All right, let's go next 10 just to satisfy Benji's next 10.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, big Nick. Hit that like button, bro.
All right, so Wizards Knicks. I'll give the Knicks a win there. Knicks at Hawks. I think we're due for a loss against the Hawks, so I'm going to give us a loss. Knicks at Raptors. That's debatable. I'm gonna say the Knicks come out in that game and try to win it, but I'm also concerned about the bench playing better at home for the Raptors, so I'll call that a loss. Cavs at Knicks. Feels like a loss, but Knicks at Celtics, loss. Knicks at Nets, no KD. I see the Knicks can win that game. Lakers at Knicks. I'll give the Knicks that game. Heat at Knicks.
That's going to be the game that LeBron might break the record at the Garden. LeBron at the Garden.
Yeah,
he hasn't played the Garden in what, 2 years now?
Dude, he's gonna load manage, and he's gonna make sure he breaks that Kareem record at the Garden.
You got to win if you want to go well in the stretch. You got to win the next 3, for real. You got to win. You got to win Wizards, Hawks, and Raptors. You got to win 2 out of.
Is Bill playing tomorrow?
No. That's why I said when the Knicks beat the Wizards and the Knicks beat the Pistons and the Knicks beat the Wizards again.
We're going to the
final. We're going to the final. That's why I made that, because like people can consume like the truth better in a jingle. Because that's the way y'all act when we beat the Wizards and the Pistons and the Wizards again. You're going to the finals. Nothing's wrong. Thibs is the man. Not like I haven't consistently watched blown leads in the second half, right? I haven't consistently watched unsustainable basketball, but like we beat the Wizards and we beat the Pistons and we beat the Pistons and we beat the Wizards and we're going to the finals. Like that's the way y'all talk. Y'all don't allow critical analysis. Only when the team loses, y'all allow that shit. Then you get like Sean from the Knicks wall. If you don't fire the coach, then fire the other guy. Like that's where you get. That's when you get that in the same month. In the same month of the sky is not falling, you get fired too. It's like ridiculous. And it's not like what he's claiming to fire the coach for has changed. It's just the team won more games.
Yeah, we went to the finals.
I mean, the problem with this is like I always get like my alert, my antenna goes up.
Anti-fans.
When my antenna goes up when people are so vehemently trying to silence you and tell you you're wrong. That makes me think that like there's a reason why they want to silence this type of speech or this type of stuff, right? Like, you know what I mean? And listen, dude, if anyone's has a proven track record of doing this, it's Madison Square Garden, dude. And which just sucks because I love the Knicks. I want them to win a championship one day, bro. But it's like you like. It's just unfortunate that people live in such a black and white world. It's
man,
like,
Leon got to get fired, man. Thibodeau got to go, and these contracts have to expire before you even think about winning the championship. It's not what happened with this group, bro. They're
dude,
locked.
The craziest thing is that I don't know, man. It's just
don't you have to produce a commercial about Anthony MSG getting a shape up? Like, what the fuck is you doing here? Don't you have to produce a commercial about Anthony MSG getting a shape up during COVID? Like, what are you doing here, bro?
Are you talking to me?
No, not you. It's fucking Larry. Just go produce a commercial for MSG, bro. Like, don't you have like the Knicks where it all matters? Like, don't you have that shit to do, bro?
He's getting what they call in China social credit points.
It's just ridiculous, bro.
But
Like,
listen,
off the dick, please.
I just wish that the Knicks could just not live in such a black and white world. Like you could be critical of the team, and it's not like a bad thing. And you could be happy for the team, and that's not a bad thing. It's like I
We
don't
ain't gonna validate your truth, bro. We ain't gonna validate your truth. Anti-fan.
Anti.
Yeah. It's funny because like, you know, it just goes to the whole First Amendments and stuff like that. It's like the person who's trying to quiet the speech, or the entity that is trying to quiet the speech, is the entity to be afraid of, not the person who's being censored for what they're saying. It's like it's so backwards, and people don't think in this type of way. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're gonna ban this guy from this platform because he said some crazy stuff, not thinking to themselves like, wow, someone just banned someone for something. Like that could be me, and they could control they could control the narrative. They let who's CP from Knicks Fan TV has not got it. I don't think he's got a press pass. Like he gets more viewers, Knicks Fan TV, than any of these other than the Daily News and the Post.
And they had the nerve to tell him to turn. They had the nerve to tell him to turn his camera off in the Knicks big three.
Oh,
The Knicks
they got
Jalen Brunson.
Mike Lee kicked out. He spends millions of dollars there, and they kicked him out because they're trying to control the perception so much. They got their minions in Twitter running around there, going at everyone who doesn't. It's crazy, man.
The nerve. And then you give Macri, you sponsor Macri's post-game show. Macri ain't even doing more numbers.
Nobody gonna validate your truth, bro.
The Players Club doing more numbers than Macri.
Whatever, man.
Hey, Larry, nobody's gonna validate your truth here, bro. You want to say shit like, oh, he was in yeshiva. That's not true. No one's gonna validate your 9 Emmys, bro. No one gives a fuck.
It's all
you don't have a face, bro. You don't have a face. This is a place for people who have the balls to put their face to their takes. You don't have that. So you need to play your part and comment. Thanks for the support, bitch.
All right. Everyone relax.
You my little slut. Comment on my video. You my little slut.
Oh my god.
You're my little slut.
Lord.
The algorithm. No. All right, yo.
Put your face on camera. Until then, you my little slut commenting on my video.
All right, listen. Everyone, we need you guys to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Because now the algorithm's screwed. But I want to shout out, Michael Fleming in the chat, JJ.
Put your face to something. Put your face. You're a fucking letter, and you're a fucking other thing on Twitter. I muted your ass a while ago.
All right. Shout out Jeremy. Shout out CA Mafia in the building. Manchild. Pastor Claudio, the mod. Shout out to you. Teg. One of my favorite guys on Twitter.
Probably got a fucked up grill. That's probably why.
Teg is toxic. Fuck with Teg. Shout out to Brock. Shout out to everyone else.
Jake, Knicks Take Jake, man. What's up, brother?
Knicks Take Jake. All right, so
Rock, what's good? Josh B. Yo, what up, Josh B? JJ. All the homies, man. All the homies respect, man. Thank you for coming through. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for your boys. Run that thing up because your boy said run that thing up first. So run it up for us now, man.
All right. So moving forward, what do you think's going to happen? Manchild, to answer your question, I do want to trade. I still want to trade Julius Randle, of course. Obviously, that take will never die. That'll go on forever. Doesn't matter how he plays. He could be LeBron James. He'll go on forever. I'm sorry, him and RJ Barrett are just no bueno. Worst clutch statistics in the NBA, probably. Low IQ player. Like last night, even during that game last night, where he had that foul, and then literally he was jawing at the ref for like a half an hour. Bro, if that guy got a technical, thank God that ref didn't call a technical in that moment. But if that guy
let's talk about that real quick. I have a point. I need the Knicks fans to rewind situations, right? So everybody's on Twitter talking about, the refs, we need to start a petition, petitions.org. We need to call the NBA office and get Scott Foster out of the NBA, blah, 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 blah. Yo, Randle literally got on the podium and snitched in the Barclays Center and told us that the referees don't give him certain calls because he's bigger and stronger than everybody else. He told us what was happening during the dialogue in the game from the referees, right? That's telling, right? So now the referees, when they look at Randle, and now they look at Thibs too, and Thibs is constantly jarring at the referees 48 minutes a night. Oh, yelling, bullshit, yelling, spitting on these guys, literally in their faces, man or woman, for the whole game. You got Randle telling on people, and then they want us to have an advantage with the referees. Nick Nurse sits in his seat the whole game. Like, other coaches sit there and allow the game to happen. They don't cry and complain the whole game. And then you tell me that the refs have a problem with the Knicks. Of course. Look what they do all the whole game. Randle is literally crying and complaining the whole game, and snitching on the podium. Thibs is literally yelling and spitting on refs the whole game. And then you say, we should have an advantage with the refs. How? Nick Nurse, I didn't see Nick Nurse talk to the ref the whole game. How? Play ball, bro. Stop crying the whole game.
You got to be able to keep your emotions under control in these
culturally normalized, bro.
in the playoffs. Like, I do not trust. Like I said it, dude. I trust Jason Pierre-Paul with fireworks more than I trust Randle at the end of games. I trust Hillary Clinton with emails more than I trust, Julius Randle at the end of games. Like, I cannot. Anybody. Like, I'm telling you, dude, the guy cannot do it under pressure, and that's okay. He doesn't have to do that. It's fine. But I'm saying there's got to be something other than, like, if you then listen. Let's face reality right now. The Knicks are probably going to make the playoffs or the play-in. Let's say they get the playoffs, right? Those games are going to come down to the wire, dude. And the only guy who could ball on this team is Jalen Brunson, bro. I don't care what anyone says. All right. RJ still has to prove it. All right, Quentin Grimes doesn't even try to take the ball on the floor. Quickly has that moxie and stuff, but he has the pizzazz, but he doesn't have the fast twitches to beat his guy, really. Like, the only guy who's going to really, ball out is Jalen Brunson. And once they put Giannis on him down the stretch, or Siakam, or they get Jimmy Butler to shut him down or something like that in the playoffs, but they get some longer, bigger guy, who the fuck is going to help Jalen Brunson at the end of games? Because Thibs not going to do anything. Randle, you don't even want him touching the ball, okay? Who's going to do it? Nobody.
We got to pray RJ turns into some 3-level guy, bro. We got to pray RJ turns some magical 3-level scoring superstar, bro.
He's the only.
No, it's a waste of time, bro. This whole season's a waste of time.
Well, listen, dude, RJ was looking so bad in the beginning of the season. I'm just happy he's not that bad. Like, I was getting scared for a while. I was getting scared for a while.
Man. 3 looks good, but you still need a guy, man. You still need a guy that takes the promised land. We don't got that guy, man. So I don't see how we're gonna get him. I don't know, man. Final thoughts, brothers. I guess.
All right, Papa. Final thoughts to you.
I thought you said a lot of interesting things, man. I believe that this team has a lot of talent. Like, and I just believe we're not watching it perform to its full capability, i.e., the top heaviness, the usage rate, the night to night minute allocation, the flashes you see from players like Emmanuel Quickly and Quentin Grimes, what you saw what you saw in the beginning of the year from Cam Reddish, literally winning you a game against Philadelphia. Obi Toppin.
I wish you could erase those Cam wins, by the way. All the times he came in and saved Thibs, I wish you could just erase them out. Because Thibs don't deserve them.
Yeah, I think that this team has always felt like this team has internal issues that are more important than the external move that they're going to make. I feel like they got a very interesting situation. They got pretty much everybody on the roster on 3 to 4 year deals. The guys that are not on those 3 to 4 year deals are literally out the door or like sitting on the bench getting trolled by, CK2K. So, or myself with D Rose, or nobody really trolls Cam. Kind of like Cam gets the support, but I feel like I feel like it really, at this point, I'm holding the coach accountable to two things. Number one, iHeart over Sims, I think at this point is an allegiance to, I don't know what, but
CAA.
yeah, I don't know what that is, bro.
CAA.
Mitchell Robinson was getting left,
Sims
helped
is-
a lot.
Sims is
They
plus,
made Mitch. They look Mitch look crazy. And Sims is very good at his footwork is incredible. His closeout rate is incredible. And I think he would have been a good addition to last night's small ball, and you still would have had some element of a traditional big, right? Instead, you had Isaiah Hartenstein out there. I find the idea of situational with this coach to be ridiculous. Like, what's the situation? And then I just feel like the team has a lot of talent, and I feel like we're jaded. I think we're jaded by the record. I think we're jaded by the record, and I think we're jaded by who Thibs chooses to play, and we allow him to warp our interpretation of what we know to be true. Right? When Cam Reddish locks down Tyrese Maxey at the end of the game, he comes in the game, it's 96-86. Him and Obi and all those guys, they come in the game and they win the game on the road, right? That was actually low key, like really impressive. Okay. Talk about all the games we've blown. Like, look, they had nothing. Like the Sixers had Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of assholes. It's like Montrezl Harrell and fucking Danny Green. It was disgusting, bro. I don't know who they had. It was disgusting. But I just feel like, again, like I feel like good. Cam sat for 20 games, right? RJ was injured, right? Evan Fournier was banished to the bench. D Rose was banished to the bench. You found the right chemistry. The chemistry gelled, right? Jalen Brunson started to play even better. Like Julius Randle's really understanding how he's going to hit his projections of what he wants to do on the court on a night-to-night basis. It's very impressive, right? His shot selection is getting better, right? I think he holds the ball too long, but the way he gets his shot up is getting better. So I think that there are a lot of things we learned from shortening the rotation, but at this point, I think it's fool's gold to run out there on a night-to-night basis with 7 guys you trust. And really, it's not 7. Really, Thibs doesn't trust iHeart like that. He really just uses him to give Mitch a blow. So you're really running against teams with 6 players, and respect to all the work that they're doing, but they're not top-end players. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fool's gold. I think Quentin Grimes deserves more development. I think he deserves more actual plays ran from, and it's not like he has to be the number 1 option. Evan Fournier got rub screens his entire time as a New York Knick, right? Like he's had the pick and roll option his entire time as a New York Knick. The ball has flowed in his hands, and he's had Quinn Grimes is catch and shoot or catch and drive. That's irresponsible, bro. I think that the team has a very good opportunity ahead of itself. I think that the next stretch of about 10 to 15 games is going to be very important. And I feel like I am ready to go on one side of the fence or not. And all of it will be hypothetical at the end of the day, regardless, because those games aren't playoff games, right? You could finish 60 and 20 and 22 and lose in the first round. Absolutely. The chances are significantly less. But obviously, nothing that you do in the regular season is a direct correlation to what you do in the playoffs. Nobody's saying that. But I'm just saying as a feeling, or buying Knicks stock right now. I'm right where I was at 0-0. Like there's nothing they've done that tells me that they're a competitive team with the serious teams, and there's nothing that tells me they're a tanking team. They're right there in the middle. They've hit an easy patch of their schedule with injuries, and they have a lot to prove. And I want them to prove it. Okay?
Right.
Jay from Florida may not. I want them to prove it. And that's where I stand.
All right.
So,
Jay, final thoughts.
Similar to what Poppa Left saying, man, we have a tough schedule coming up, man. I've been talking about it for months, man. So now we're here at the date, man. We finally got to January 20th. We're going to play some tough teams the next couple weeks, man. These guys are going to have to prove it. there's a tweet, Emmanuel quickly put up on his IG story last night. He said, tired, not even the word. I've never seen this kid complain about anything in his tenure at the Knicks, bro. So you're talking about a really tough kid, man. So for him to be exhausted and let people know about it, bro, he must have been really exhausted. And I'm sure he's not the only guy, man. Yo.
Dude, these guys are playing crazy minutes, and they're traveling, and they're flying to different cities.
We got some tough games coming off. We got some tough situations. We got to play against some tough benches. RJ can't play 48 minutes a night, bro. It just doesn't work like this. They're going to have to find an alternative to it. But like I said, where do the shots come from? If you trade for a guy, where do the shots come from in this isocentric offense, man? We need to fire Tom Thibodeau. We need to fire Leon Rose. It's not going to happen because they win games. It's a hamster wheel of mediocrity. It's a hamster wheel of the same bullshit. I don't care if I have to watch Lou Almondson 3 years ago. I don't care. I was happier before the RJ Barret draft than I am now. And that's a fact. Because now I'm looking at this team. I don't see a superstar coming in. I don't see a way for us to get to perennial playoff.
Who the fuck cites Lou Amundsen as their Knicks loyalty stripe? Like, what is this? 8th grade? What are we told? What is this? Are we in 8th grade?
We're fighting against new Knicks fans, man. Knicks fans that have been probably fans since 14, 15. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not time to shake it yet. I gotta do my not yet.
Go ahead, wrap it up, Big Ari, man. But got some games coming up, man. We'll see.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in between the two of you. Mm-hmm. Like, I gotta see something in the playoffs if I'm gonna actually think that. I don't care if the Knicks wins 55 games.
Yo, PSA, if they make the playoffs and they lock into the tournament, we're gonna have an ass shaking podcast. Like, I'm rooting for the team to win the playoffs.
Yeah, obviously,
locked into
the playoffs, of course.
Don't get it twisted.
That's what I was saying. That's the pivot. When they actually do something that's worth shaking my ass, I pivot to what y'all doing right now. That's it.
Cool.
I just think that they're not gonna. I need to see it in the playoffs. I know listen, you never know anything for 100% sure, but I can tell you the way that they close out games and just the way that Randle forgets how to play basketball in the last 5 minutes of the game, and Thibodeau can't do adjustments. This team is not built for the playoffs. It's built. It's like what State. It's not State. Southside said it. Thibs is a regular season hustler. He plays 6-7 guys all these minutes on back-to-back nights to try to win every single game in the playoffs. They're very well prepared. They know the scouting report. They play with a lot of effort to win as many games as possible so they can make the playoffs. And they get to the playoffs, and then they just get outclassed by teams that are just better than them. And Thibs has no actual nuance to the game, especially on the offensive end. And Julius Randle can't come in the clutch. And I just know it's not going to end well in the playoffs. So for me, as long as they don't trade the picks, make the playoffs, lose in the first round, everyone will be like, oh, whatever. We took a step. Now, and I want to see what the next – all these, win now people, ass shakers you call them, when they lose in the first round of the playoffs, I want to see what their goals are for the next year. Is it to make the playoffs again and lose in the first round, or is it to build off that and go to the second round? Are you going to trade the picks for – a superstar so you could lose in the conference finals in the second round? Like, I want to know what it is, because there's no long-term perspective with a lot of the people that want to win every single game right now. It's more of a dopamine hit. It's more of like a dopamine rush. Let's try to improve. But
yo, you got Knicks fans that literally view Knicks games as happy hour, like afterward unwinds and kick it's like. Let's go kick it.
If there was no post game dick or pussy involved, these people wouldn't go to the Knicks. Let's put it.
If your plan is to, who wouldn't go?
It wouldn't go. It would not go. It would not go. If it couldn't get no ass at the end of the game, it would not go.
Team is further away than people think they are from being competitive. They're not one move away. They're multiple moves away, and they only have the draft picks and the assets to make one big move. So I want to build up the assets so we have enough to make two moves. So you can get a Donovan Mitchell and something left, 2 picks left, a pick left, a good player left to trade for another guy to eventually go over.
Man, that ship sailed, bro. We locked into this era, man. Julius Randle is your max guy. They ain't trading for him. They ain't doing nothing, bro. They're going to hoard the picks, pick role players, reset the rookie contracts, keep Julius Randle and Brunson, and just run it back year after year, man. Nothing ain't happening, man.
I do think there's a caveat to that. I think Brunson don't want to stick around for all that shit. I don't think so. I think there is a caveat to that. I think Brunson can speak up and say something post game that kind of puts everybody on high alert. But we're nowhere near that level yet. We're nowhere near that level. Just like the way that we would pivot hypothetically if the Knicks did something of value, like win a playoff series, right? It's the same way the other content channels pivot when the Knicks lose and they want to say fire Thibs, right? Every single one has done it.
We don't pivot here. It's the same thing.
I'm just saying that I will pivot when it's worth it.
Right. Okay. Right.
But I'm saying name every single one. Every single Knicks content channel.
Yeah, they take
has said fire Thibs at one point.
Oh, I mean, they change their mind every week.
And he hasn't changed.
I'm not pivoting until the Knicks win a first-round playoff series. If the Knicks actually make the playoffs, even if they make the play-in and they make the playoffs, if they win a first-round series, I will pivot. I'll be like, all right, let's try to make moves now. I misjudged this. I'll even go lowercase on the fucking Twitter, okay?
You can say you're wrong.
Win in the first-round series. I don't want to make the playoffs and then get swept. Or
I'll be happy to be wrong. I'll be happy
to do wrong if that's the case. But salute to everyone in the chat. We're gonna wrap this thing up right now. I see 41 likes. Let's get that like button. Hit the subscribe button. That's the most important thing right now. We're trying to get to 500. If we get to 500, we're bringing on a guest. We'll bring on a guest that you guys choose.
Shout out to Larry Israel, my little slut. He's the co-host of the episode. Everybody type little slut in the chat.
Jay got to shout out Jay Nicky, and we can wrap this up.
Yo, shout out to my young boy Jay Nicky, man. The three-year Knick fan, man. Shout out to you, my brother. You keep the fight. And I still need you to watch a '90s Knick playoff game. You promised me since last summer. You still haven't watched one. Come on, block in.
All right, so we'll be back next Tuesday for episode 14 of the Toxic Boys podcast. Thank you for everyone that came in.
Oh, shout out to Breeze, man. Breeze is the Steve Harvey of Knicks Twitter. Shout out to Breeze, man. He got 1 million jobs. Shout out to him as well.
All right, shout out to Breeze. Shout out to Boston.
I could go another 5 hours. Y'all crazy.
You got to shout out to Boston Nick, the nicest guy on Nick's Twitter. He's like the anti-Larry.
Boston Nick. Shout out to you, bro.
Love and 100%.
Yo, CAA Mafia, man, had a funny tweet. He said that his girl would trust him in the strip club more than Randle in the fourth quarter. That's a genius tweet, man. Shout out to you, bro. Peace and love to the chat, man.
CT Pittman and Boston Nick need to be in a Knicks Twitter celebrity death match for the nicest guy on Knicks Twitter.
CT Pittman was the first guy.
Him and Nick and
he's not the nicest. He's the most generous.
Absolutely.
Nick and Nader is the only guy from Knicks Twitter to buy me a shot.
Shout out to
last time I went to Knicks Twitter at Blarney's, I spent like $400, $500 on Knicks Twitter to buy them drinks just for them to call me an asshole on Twitter the weeks after. But the only person to actually buy me a drink was Nick and Nader.
DP, the franchise bought me a drink. It went something like this. Hey, he was like, hey, you want something to drink?
Yeah.
CP,
all right, next Tuesday, like, subscribe, and share. Toxic Boys.
Larry, man, tell Nick security